What's good, y'all? It's Ali back at it again with another YouTube video in which I give you guys mental models you can use to become extremely successful and accomplish all the goals you are after. So let's get right into it. So today we're talking about the infamous discipline, because you probably already hear constantly, you don't want motivation, you want discipline. But in order to be disciplined, you need to understand discipline, right? You can't just be like, be disciplined, and you're just like, oh, cool, all right, I guess I will. But you don't know really what it means or understand it, or you think you understand it when you really don't. So let's just jump right into the definition of discipline in the context of you achieving your goals. And what it is working on your goals by ignoring, key thing here, your emotions / mood. That is what it means to be disciplined. When you are disciplined, right? And the key thing, most important thing for you guys to understand about this, when it comes to your emotions or your mood, you are not your emotions or your mood or your thoughts. You're the reactor to them. You can feel a thought or feel an emotion and choose not to act on it. You just see it and then you're like, okay, I feel this thought, so I'm going to say this thing, or I have this emotion, so I'm going to do this thing. You make the choice. Because if you were just your thoughts or emotions, you know what you would be? You would just be an animal. You'd be like a deer that steps out into the street while a car is barreling towards it at 60 miles per hour. That'd be you. And when we see deers do that, we're like, deers are fucking dumb. I'm like, well, yeah, deers are fucking dumb. They're not aware of themselves. They're not aware of their impulses or their thoughts or their emotions. They just do shit off instinct. But human beings have been able to conquer the planet because we are sentient. What does that mean? We have an ego. We have a sense of self. We are aware of ourselves. We're aware of our emotions. We are aware of our moods. We can see these things and we can make decisions based on them. We're not them. We can just make decisions based on them. So I want to make this super clear to you guys from the get-go so you understand that maybe you've been going through life so far and you think that because you feel something, it matters, or you have to act on it, or because you think something, it matters and you have to act on it. When no, you just choose what you act on. And when you realize that, you're like, oh, if I have emotions that make me not want to work on my goals, I don't have to listen. I can still do the work I need to do. If I have a thought that is making me less productive and less successful, I don't actually have to interact with those thoughts. I'm just choosing to. But how do I resist then? Because these emotions are strong. These thoughts are strong. How do I resist those thoughts? Well, through training. And that's what brings us into the actionable step when it comes to mastering discipline or gaining discipline in your life. First, obviously, you must ignore. You must ignore emotion plus train. And this is the big one here. And obviously a big theme of my channel. You must train. Everything worth having in life, you must be worked for. So if you want discipline, you have to work for that shit. You don't just get to be disciplined just because you want to. No, you have to train it. Okay, well, Ali, how do I train it? Well, every single time your emotions or mood tells you not to do the work you need to do that will serve your goals, you still do it. And every single time you do it, right, that's a rep. You strengthen that disciplined mental muscle because you got a feel for it. You're like, hey, originally I had this mood that made me not want to work on my goals, or I have this emotion that made me not want to work on my goals. I ignored it and still did the work anyway. You've experienced it now and you understood what that felt like. Now you just have to do it again and again and again. And like with all other skills, you get better through repetition. The more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. Till what? Discipline becomes normal for you. It becomes instinctive. You're no longer ruled by your emotions or your mood or your thoughts because you trained yourself to not be. You've trained yourself to just wake up and be able to instantly get to work because every single time your mood or your emotions has tried to pull you away from work, you still worked. And now you've earned your discipline rather than begging for it, thinking you just get to be disciplined and just get to ignore your emotions. No, you earned it because you trained it, and you use your goals as training. You're using whatever goals that you have right now that you're working towards as a way to train your discipline. And it actually makes it a fun game now, running towards your success or running towards your ambitions, because now instead of just thinking about the outcomes you want and the goals you want, you're like, no, my goals and the path that I'm working towards is actually just a vehicle for me to train my discipline. And this is just what makes pursuing your goals fun, because when you see shit like this, it's like, okay, well, I want this goal in my life, but what I really want is discipline, because it's discipline that makes me successful. So if I just train my discipline, I'll just become successful by default. And it becomes a game like that. And I want it to be like a game like that, because I want you to enjoy the grind. I want you to enjoy the process. And thinking about discipline this way and training it this way makes it a fun process, bro. So that's what you just have to do. You have to just realize, first and foremost, you are not your emotions. You are not your mood. You are not your thoughts. You're the one who dictates what thoughts and emotions you decide to act on. Just because you feel like punching a nigga in the face doesn't mean you have to punch him. You could choose not to, meaning you're the reactor. You're observing the feeling that I want to punch someone. And you're like, but I shouldn't do that, so let me not do it, right? You see how you were disciplined against that emotion, right? So when you understand that, you're like, okay, so now I need to train this. I need to train my ability to be disciplined. So every single time I have the emotion or mood to not do the work I need to do, I ignore that feeling and then I train anyway. I do the work I need to do anyway. And then boom, you just strengthen that discipline muscle. And then rep after rep after rep, you get better and better and better until it becomes instinctive. So yeah, man, let me know how you niggas felt about this shit. This is just a really simple understanding of discipline. And when you just understand it this way, in this simple manner, because it's supposed to be simple, because why would I want to make this shit complicated for you guys? Your goals are probably already complicated enough. I want to make this kind of shit easy. Now you understand it in this way, you can ensure that you're just going to get better at discipline because you're willing to train. And I only want niggas that are watching this channel that are willing to train, because everything worth having in life must be worked for. So if you fuck with this shit, like and subscribe, bro. I want to grow the fam. I want more guys to see this shit so they stop letting their emotions rule their life or their thoughts rule their life, because they're actually making a choice without realizing it. You know what I'm saying? And I really think it's just because of the feminization of society and feminism and all this other bullshit and weakening men and lack of masculinity that has caused so many men to care so much about their emotions and their mood and their thoughts, rather than realizing I'm a real ass nigga. Fuck my emotions and thoughts. There's real shit I got to get done. You know what I'm saying? I want all you guys to be like that. So let me make sure more guys see this shit, like this video so it extends my reach. And of course, subscribe so you can get more good ass game like this to make sure you achieve your goals. And yeah, with that being said, I'll catch you niggas in the next YouTube video. Deuces.